right, how is everyone doing? Today I'm going to be breaking down a business model which I think many people overlook. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing crazy, but it's a very simple business model that for some reason people don't seem to pursue it. Well, they do, but the way they do is just wrong. They don't do it the right way. And I've seen it over and over where people will come to me, make this common mistake with this business model, and then fail. And of course, afterwards they get discouraged and they jump to trading, drop shipping, and all these crappy business models. So today I'll be breaking down exactly what I would do if I was starting from zero, how I would approach it, and why I believe this is the best business model if you're just starting out. So this is actually the business model that I run for my company as well as for all of our clients when we work with them. And it's around offering online services. Okay. So this is pretty common. Like, no, this is nothing revolutionary. Okay. Services. You can do this online, offline, of course. Like when I first started with my business, I had the in-person window cleaning business. So it was still a service-based business. It was just online. It was in person, sorry. So of course, like for me, that's not what I wanted to do. And I'm assuming for you guys as well, like you would rather do a online business model because you can travel, you can do all of these things. So what does this mean exactly? So you offer some type of service that can be done online. So an example would be websites. Okay. It doesn't have to be websites in itself. There's multiple things, but this is the example I'm going to be using. Okay. So you build websites for people. Now, the common mistake that I see 90% of beginners do when they start this business model is the first thing they do, they say to themselves, all right, I will start a business and I will help local businesses with their websites. I'm going to rebuild their websites and I'll make it super pretty. So what's the first thing I need to do? I need to make a logo, a business name, all this crap. And then the next 6 months or whatever, what they do is they try to become the best website builder in the world. Okay, so they just train this skill and they try to learn how to build websites. And then here, of course, once you fall in this rabbit hole of trying to learn a new skill, especially something like websites, it's very easy to get overwhelmed, discouraged, and just feel productive without actually being productive. All right, so I can buy a course, I can start watching YouTube videos. So here I start watching YouTube videos after YouTube videos, and I try to become the best website builder, and I just fall into this rabbit hole. And at the end of the day, despite how much time I put into it, my work is just mediocre because I just started. You cannot expect yourself in a week to become very good at a specific skill that you're trying to sell. And this is a mistake. And then from here, you give up. Okay. So then give up. And this right here is what happens with most people who start this type of business model. Now, I'm going to teach you what I did, and I'm going to teach you what I'm telling my students to do, and how I've been building a business that makes now over $100,000 per month, leveraging this exact way of operating a service-based business. So let's reuse this example. All right. So I'm going to offer a service and I'm also going to do websites. Okay. Same thing. Now, the difference that I'm going to do is instead of going on YouTube, buying courses and trying to become the best website builder, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire someone who, respectfully, is a nerd when it comes to building websites. They love building websites. They've been doing it for years. They have an amazing portfolio. They know what they're doing. I'm going to hire him and I'm going to pay him on a pay per job basis or per commission basis. Okay, so he's not going to be on a fixed salary where like, hey, every month you get paid X amount. No, it's going to be like every time you do a job for me, then I'm going to pay you. So you find that person, but you don't pay them anything until they actually do a job. Okay, so that way you're not losing money. You're minimizing risk, which is the most important thing when you're starting off. So service-based, we're doing websites again. Again, this is just for the sake of videos. At the end of the video, I'll give you a bunch of examples that you can do. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start outreaching. Outreach. So here, I'm going to start outreaching to multiple businesses and people that can benefit from my website building services. And my focus becomes, instead of trying to learn and become a nerd when it comes to building websites, my focus will be 100% on this, which is outreach. Now, what does outreach mean? This is like cold calling. You can go in person to your local business. For websites, it's very simple. You just go on Google, you click on their website, you give them you refresh their website with your skills, like a template, like a pre-built stuff where you can just plug and play their logo and just that's it. You send it to them as an example and you tell them, hey, if you like this website, I can actually build it for you and have it live on your official company account or whatever. So that's one way to do it. But anyways, so your focus here becomes outreach. Whereas here, you would learn, like spend months and months trying to learn websites, become mediocre at it, so your websites don't even look that good. And then from here, this is when you would have to start outreaching. But obviously it's very hard to outreach when your service in itself doesn't look very nice. And plus you've probably given up by this point because you're discouraged by the lack of progress that you've been making. When you do this way of operating a business, okay, where you just focus on finding the talent that can deliver on the service that you want to sell to people, your focus, you basically become a salesperson and a marketing person. So your goal is to outreach. So what I would do is I would, number one, now, again, just to backtrack, just because I'm hiring someone for a website does not mean I'm going to completely disregard the whole website industry. I will still take the time to learn the basics, but I'm not going to aim to become the best website builder. I'm going to learn just enough to understand how it works, how I can explain it to my clients, and how I can sell it. But again, the technical stuff, that is not my concern right now. From here, I would outreach. I personally would do two things. I would start posting videos on YouTube. So exactly the type of videos that I'm making right now, just make it around your service right here. And I'm also going to do cold outreach. That's if I have no budget to work with. If I do have a budget, then I'm going to run paid ads because that is the best way to scale. Okay, paid ads. I don't know why cool. So my focus becomes this right here. And what's going to happen is that because my focus is on contacting businesses, it's going to be a lot easier for me to close businesses or to close clients when 100% of my focus is being spent on this instead of trying to learn how to build websites. So I'm calling businesses every day. I'm going in person. I'm speaking to business owners and I'm telling them, like, hey, I can redo your website for, let's say, $1,000. Okay, I'm just using a random number. So let's say you managed to close someone for $1,000. Okay, $1,000. So you're happy, right? The person paid you $1,000 and he's like, can I redo your or he said, please redo my website. Now what's going to happen is that you're going to go see this person that you hired in the first place and you're going to pay them a portion of this money. Now the exact amount will differ depending on the service, like how complicated it is and everything, the price point, how much margin you gave yourself. Like there's so many factors that come into play. It's hard for me in the YouTube video just to tell you X amount should go to the person, but let's just, for the sake of the video, take 50%. Okay, so let's say this person will get 500 for doing the website, and you keep, so this is rev, and you will keep profit $500 after paying the person. And boom, you just made $500. And the best part is that all you did was focus on contacting businesses. You did not actually do the service, which is website building. And the benefit of this is, one, your time isn't spent doing like non-money making activity, because once a client pays you and you deliver the website, you're not making more money. You're just fulfilling on the money that he already paid you. And the goal is for every action that you do, for your time to be worth over $100 an hour, every hour has to be spent in you generating new money for the company. And by you making a website for an existing client that already paid you, yes, you made your money, but everything that's being spent on building the website is not you contributing to making us more money. Okay, you need to be contacting more businesses to make more money. Okay, and the best part, again, is instead of, let's say you did manage to close a client here, okay, for $1,000. So yay, you keep more money, okay, that's a great part. Okay, so let's say you did manage to close a client for $1,000 somehow, okay? Now the problem is you have to make the website yourself. And obviously because you're just starting out and you don't have necessarily the skill set, the website will not look good. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna deliver mediocre results. You're gonna spend all of your time actually building the website instead of calling more businesses and closing more $1,000 deals. And at the end of the day, the client might not be happy with your work. It's gonna be like, what the hell is this? I thought you were a professional website builder. I paid you $1,000 and this is what you give me. some Wix template that you found, like they're not going to be happy. Then you're going to have issues right here. So you see how this way of operating a business is not the way to go. But this, for some reason, is what everyone does. They pick a service and then they decide, I will learn how to build the best websites in the world. I've never done that before. Okay, so my service was offering marketing. So running Google ads, Facebook ads for local businesses. Do you think I spent months and months buying courses and reading books on how to become the best Facebook ads expert? No. I learned the basics. Like I understand enough to explain it to someone who, who's trying to like use the service to be able to sell it to a person. But that's what I did right away. I hired someone who has years of experience when it comes to running paid marketing. And as soon as I closed my first client, I took a portion of the money, it was $500, I remember, and I gave it to this person to do it for me. And he set up the entire ads campaign. I did not even open it once. I was just like, do it and do what you have to do. Client was super happy because he was getting good results. I'm super happy because I don't have to run ads and I don't have to learn how to do it. And I can focus 100% of my energy on signing more of these clients. All right, so that's how you start a business model where you make a boatload of money that you can start today. It is not complicated. The hardest part, and it's not even the hard part, is figuring out what do you want to sell as a service. Okay, don't do a product, because with a product you cannot do this. You need a bunch of money upfront to do it. You need to test stuff. It's not worth it. Okay, trust me, if you're just starting out. You want to find what is your service. Now, my go-to is growth. So helping a business grow and make more money. So that can be building them, like you can do their marketing, you can do their funnels, you can create a webinar for them, you can build a sales team for them, like anything that's going to help them make more money in the long run. I prefer those types of service because they're easy to justify. Whereas like a website might look nicer, but it's not necessarily going to correlate to an increase in revenue. It's just going to add like the website will look a bit more professional, the company will look more professional, but it's not necessarily going to lead to direct sales. However, if I help them manage, let's say $5,000 per month in ad spend, and I do a good job and I get them a 3-4x return, then that means I will make them an extra $20,000 in revenue with that ad spend. So there's a direct correlation with how much profit they're going to get. And it's easier to justify a price point. If I make you $20,000 right now, would you pay me $2,000 for it? The obvious answer is yes. And that's how you have to frame your service. Okay, so again, my go-to is like Facebook ads, Google ads, like any type of advertisement marketing. And then you would hire a media buyer. And that media buyer would do the service for you. Now, last point before I end this video, you might be asking yourself, why doesn't this person right here, the one who's the expert, who spent years and years learning the core of the service, why doesn't he just directly go to the client who's paying $1,000 and he collects 100% instead of 50%? That's a very good question. That's what I was asking myself at the beginning, which is why I didn't do this. Because I'm like, there's no point of doing it. Why wouldn't this person just do it themselves? And what I learned is that there's two types of people. There's the technical guys, like kind of the geeks, and then there's the salespeople. Okay, the people that are willing to put themselves in front and talk to strangers and sell themselves and sell their product. Now, obviously you can be both, but typically you're either one side or the other. In a perfect world, you would be both together, but that doesn't happen often. So this person, although they love making websites, they hate cold outreach. They hate making content. They don't want to set up ads for their business. They don't want to start their own business. Like they don't want the work that comes with starting a website building business. They just want to build websites. That's their passion, and there's nothing more they want to do. They don't want to hire people. They don't want to do interviews. They don't want to have sales calls. They don't want to negotiate, make contracts, all of this stuff. They don't want to do it. They're like, no, let me just work with someone who wants to do it. And that's when you come into play. You're willing to do what they're not willing to do, and they have the missing skill that you need, and you offer the missing skill that they need as well for their business. So it's like a perfect pair. Okay, that's what most of the guys in my company, that's what happened. Okay, I have one guy who's doing my ads, extremely good when it comes to ads. He is a beast. He's incredible when it comes to doing this stuff. However, he was super upfront with me. He's like, I don't really want to have my own full-on business, do outreach, cold calling, all of this stuff. Like, I don't want to do it. I just want to do ads. That's it. Which is why we made the perfect partnership, because I don't mind calling, doing sales calls and everything. That's what I enjoy doing. Okay, so that's one thing you have to prepare yourself for. When you say, I will start a business that's going to offer website building, You're not actually building websites as a business owner. You're going to be taking sales calls and talking to potential business owners and getting them to pay you money for your service. That's going to be your actual business model. Okay, sales. Okay, so I hope this was useful. I hope this opened your eyes to like a very simple business model that you can start. You find the service that you want. You find someone who's better than you when it comes to the service, the expert. You can take their work and claim it as your own as well. That's a benefit. So let's say I use the website. You might outreach to potential people and they're going to ask you, show me previous work that you've done before in the past. Now, obviously, you being a beginner, you don't have any previous experience. So what do? Is you go see your hire and you ask him like, hey, can you just send me a few samples of websites that you've built in the past that I can use to help close clients? And it's not lying. You're not lying to the customer, because once they do pay you, who's going to do the website? It's the person that you hired. So the case studies that you're using actually come from someone on your team that's going to do the service delivery. So it's not like you stole them online on Google and you're claiming them to be your own. No, you're actually working with the person who did build these websites, and they can replicate the websites that you just presented to your clients. Okay? So that's going to be all. I hope this was useful. As usual, if you have any questions, leave a comment. I will happily help you. Otherwise, best of luck with everything, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.